Hello. Caught myself unawares there. Just settle myself, sort my skirts. There we go. How are you guys? It's Thursday. One more day to the weekend. How fantastic is that? It's flipping fantastic. It is Rokk. Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thursday, October the 6th, 2022. It is 4 minutes past 5. We're a little bit late, but that's okay. I wanted to make sure all the audio and stuff was working so you can hear me and everything else, which you can. So that's got to be a good thing, hasn't it? Great show yesterday. Thank you for joining me. We covered some ground and we had a look at GeForce Now, which I've now popped up as a standalone video on demand. So if you want to go back and pick up any of the information that we covered, you can do that. It's now a separate video with zoom ins and all sorts of amazing stuff. Hey, I've got good news. I reached out to Black Nut, which has been a long-term... We've made fun of their name, bless them, but they're a French cloud gaming service provider, and they're doing really well, it has to be said. So I reached out to them and asked them if I could get A, on their press list, which they agreed to, and B, if they could let us have a look at it. So they've given me an account to play with. So we're going to whip through the news, and like we did yesterday with GeForce Now, we'll have a look at Black Nut's offering and see what we think of that. And I've set up the account, which was very simple. Email, password, you're in. So, downloaded the app. We'll have a look at that in a little while. We've got a little bit of news, nothing too amazing today. But before I start, don't forget, guys, we are running a giveaway this week for up to 3 copies of GeForce Now Priority Edition. Plus, so there's going to be 3 prizes in total. One will be purely 60 days, 2 months of GeForce Now Priority. One will be that plus a $40 Steam credit, so you can buy a game of your choice for that amount. I would highly recommend that you check out the games released today by GeForce Now, the games that they have been ported, and make sure you buy one of those, otherwise kind of pointless. And the third one is that, the GeForce Now Priority plus a copy of Deathloop on Steam. Amazing stuff. Quickly say hello to you folks. Michael, how are you, my friend? Thank you for popping in there. Lovely to see you. Winstar, hope you're keeping well. Good to see you. Granite T Rock has joined Team Rock as well. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm not sure if you're in the chat today. Actually, I don't even think that I've added you into the members list for the beginning. Let me have a quick look and see if I did. I'm looking under G. No, right. Okay, let's add you in. See, this is clever stuff. You guys can't see this, but you know what appears at the beginning and end of my shows? Well, that's actually pulling it in from a database. So I update the database and now it's going to be automatic. PyConfusion. I'm the one that gets confusioned. It's PyCon. How are you, my friend? Great to see you. And Bleeflufla. Fantastic. How are you? Hope you're keeping well. One more day. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Phipps as well. Good to see you, Phipps. Right. Let's get over to the old news. Let's get over to Larry the Laptop. And we'll see what's cooking today, shall we? Over in the news. Zip. Boing. Jerome, how are you, my friend? Hi, Rokk in chat. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're keeping well. Guys, I hope you can hear me okay this time around. And also you're getting the music in the background as well. It's designed to go quiet when I talk, by the way. So if you're wondering to yourselves why you can't hear it, watch this. See? Clever, isn't it? Okie dokie. Okie fan kokie. So, yes, let me see. What was yesterday? Yesterday was Wednesday. It was either yesterday or Tuesday. Our good friends Stadia Dosage, who of course we used to refer to all the time for updates on news, rebranded themselves as Cloud Dosage. So that was a piece of news that we never covered yesterday. And there they are, as you can see, in all their Cloud Dosage glory. Looking good, guys, looking good. Nice, says PyCon. Good, thanks, beautiful day. Also, yeah, it's blue skies and the sun is out. It's actually pretty cool. It's a pretty nice day, isn't it? So, anyway, our good friends at Cloud, so they're kind of in the process of transitioning, adding in, the kind of feet like the rest of us. They're feeling their feet, kind of, what do we cover? Where do we find the news? All that kind of stuff. So most of it we've covered. 3 new games, we covered that yesterday. If you remember, Dakar, Desert Rally, Lord of Rigel and Marauders. There's now more games. We'll come on to those in a second from our friends at GeForce Now. And as an ambassador, I'm a member of their ambassadors Discord, which, to be honest with you, is a really nice place. They're about 20 odd ambassadors, but the guys at GeForce are so interactive and engaging. They're absolutely brilliant. And I've had a sneak peek of the games coming out in October, and there are tons. I mean, tons and tons and tons. I think some of them will be covered off. We'll have a look in a minute because GeForce Now Source, which is a mouthful, have covered them off as well. So anyway, I think we covered the Amazon Luna controller. If we didn't, that has now, if you are obviously in the States, because it still only exists in America, but if you are in the States, then you can pick up an Amazon Luna controller and 30 days of Luna Plus, which is I think it's the entry level. So you guys may or may not remember, I'd love to do a live preview of Luna, but it ain't happening. Not unless I go down the old VPN route. Right now I ain't. How's it going? Mostly Martinez. Good to see you, buddy. Good day to you, Rokk. Good day to you, Squire, as well. I hope it is a good day. I hope it's lovely weather. Lovely weather where you is. Anyway, so I think. So the way it works with Luna is they have multiple channels. It's an interesting concept. They've obviously come at it thinking about how it would make most sense to their Amazon Prime subscribers. And of course, with Amazon Prime, you've got the Amazon Prime with your films and your TVs, but they've got other channels like Stars, some sports stuff and so on. So, you subscribe depending on what you want. And that's how Luna works. So you got your Luna Plus, which is a rotating library of, I can't remember how many, couple of hundred games, 500 maybe. But then you have Retro Channel and Family Channel, Ubisoft Plus Channel, and so on. So, you then add those as you go, depending on what works for you. Anyway, $40 instead of, I think, $60. So it's a real deal. And quite honestly, if I could get one in the UK, I would just buy it because it's actually a really nice controller. But where Luna's concerned, it works a bit like the Stadia controller, in that it connects to their server remotely via Wi-Fi. So it kind of bypasses your local setup and just gives you a minuscule faster ping kind of a thing. Hey Lee, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. All right. Hey, it's all right, you late man. I don't know what that accent was. That was a tour of the UK there in about 2.5 seconds. Amazing stuff. Big Steve, good to see you too, buddy, on your mega paddleboard. I've got mega paddleboard news, Big Steve, but then I had to quickly stop because I realised that Christmas is coming and I might have spoiled some presents. So, Kumna, how you doing, my good friend? Good to see you as well. Big wave to Kumna. He's a lovely chap. Thank you so much, buddy. And K-Sport UK, everyone. Decent week for GFN, in my opinion. Yeah, decent week. We'll come on to that next. Thank you very much, my friend. Yes, and don't forget, as I said at the top of the show, you can still win 60 days of a priority gaming account, courtesy of our friends at NVIDIA. And I have bolstered that with $40 of Steam credit plus a code to get Deathloop. So there'll be 3 prizes. They'll all be drawn at random. And you only have to go and sub to this channel. And if you've already done that, sub to Ray William John, Bjorn, or Holtz, whichever, and leave a comment in any of this week's shows so that I know you've done it, and then I'll add you into the Wheel of Fortune for Friday. Yeah, I saw Pre-Simulator 8. Isn't quite what you thought either. I was well up for a bit of Catholic, congregation building. We'll come on to that next. And then Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous makes its way. This is interesting. Now, I've deliberately avoided covering Nintendo, and I know, as these guys say, that occasionally they deliver games via the cloud, this being one of those. But I kind of feel like with Nintendo, they've got one toe in the cloud and then the rest of their body's out of it. And until they make a decision and fully commit to having a cloud, even if it's a separate cloud service that runs all the time, I just don't feel like it's something that, we'll cover the odd piece of news when it pops up like this. But it's not something I'm kind of putting in my daily itinerary. Hope that makes sense. So popping across to GeForce. I don't know why I'm doing all the accents today. What is it, Rokk? What are you trying to get an Oscar out of this or what, dude? It is a great price at $40, Jerome. I completely agree, my friend. Trevor, how are you, dude? The Rokk Meister. Love it. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you, dude. You can connect via Bluetooth too. Yes, that's true. That is true, Martinez. So as well as bypassing for Luna, you can just use it as a Bluetooth controller. So, even if I was going to buy it, and actually my plan was to use it with my Apple TV because I've got Apple Arcade, but I never play any of the games because you can't plug. There's no USB port on the little Apple TV puck. So you have to use a Bluetooth controller, and all mine are used elsewhere. So I was thinking of buying it, but I'm not paying import duties, and it's unfair to get people to send them across on my behalf and all that stuff. But it's a very high quality controller. I completely agree, Jerome. It looks amazing. I know John has got one, and obviously Ray and people that have it as well. And Yellow, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. I hope you're keeping well. Buongiorno, signor. And if you missed the top of the show, guys, I've got a big treat today. Yesterday, we had a live look at GeForce Now. I've separated that out into a little video on demand for those of you that couldn't make it or want to keep it in their pocket for, days to read. Today, I've managed to get access to Black Nut so we can have a look at the little French beauty that it is. And it is nice. So I've got that lined up. That's why I'm kind of whipping through the news at a rate of knots, because I want to leave us a good 25 minutes to have a look at that at the top of the show. I'm going to try and cover a cloud service. What else have we got to look at? I've got access to PlayStation Plus Premium, once known as PS Now. We can look at that one. I've got Game Pass Ultimate, so we can look at Xbox Cloud Gaming. I've actually got some time left within Boosteroid. They gave me a paltry 10 hours to look at it. I looked at it, and about 10 minutes later, I went, yep, it's got games, and that was it. So we can have a look at that as well. So I'm going to try and do, over the space of, tomorrow's probably a no-go because of the prize draws and stuff. But Monday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, maybe all of next week, every day, I'll try and look at each of the cloud services in turn from my perspective live, so you guys can have a look at that and get a little bit of a feel as well. Mr. Krampus, sir, how are you? Every accent in one show. They are a bit poor, though. I've got to be my own worst critic on this, I'm afraid, Ty. It's, if you're going to do an accent, make it a decent one. That's what I say. Boosteroid is a decent offer with a lot of the games that aren't on GFN. Yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, with Stadia out of the picture, Stadia being... GFN have got RTX, in fairness, and it does make a huge difference. None of the other cloud services have RTX, ray tracing. And all of those gorgeous features, but stripping that out, Stadia was the only service that had those really unique value adds. So it then comes down to which service is the right price, works for you in your region, and has the games you want to play, quite honestly. And they're all kind of in the same space financially. But for me, GFN is leading that pack simply because you have access to tens of thousands of games on Steam. And of course, because it's Epic Thursday, and I like to call it Epic Thursday, they will be giving away 1, 2 or more games on Epic. I haven't seen what they are today. Lee's usually ahead of me on that. And a lot of those are added to GeForce Now. So that's got to be thought about as well. But I'm trying to be as impartial as possible. All I can do is to say to you guys that I have all of these services. I play all of them. And quite honestly, as Stadia Krampus says, it largely depends for me which one has games that I want to play on the day. Lee says, still bothers me how Boosteroid gets all those AAA titles, others don't. Yeah, I've postulated on this myself many times, Lee. I am concerned that their model is predicated on some kind of legal stuff which could get unwrapped if it was ever taken to court. So, but having said that, that's slander. So I've got to be really careful what I say, because it's purely my postulation, my thoughts, my thinking, my opinion. I have no idea how they work, but they work. And of course, you're not committed for a year or more. You can take any of these services for 1 month. And if it ain't working for you, cancel it. So, and the beauty of it is again, with Boosteroid, same as GFN, you have to own the game elsewhere. So you're not going to lose out if they disappear. I think that's worth bearing in mind as well. But I don't like that name, Black Nut. Yeah, I agree. But what can you do? What can you do, Martinez? No, I don't know why. It would have been nicer if they'd have used the French. I'm not sure what French for nut is. Obviously, black is noir, but, noir nut, whatever it is. That would have been nice, wouldn't it? Noir. Noir would have been a nice name anyway for a service, just black. That would have been cool. First time viewer, oh, bless you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining. If you missed it, by the way, I'm running an amazing giveaway over the next couple of days. Tomorrow is the last day to win either 60 days of GeForce Now Priority. 3 of those I've got to give away. So you win that on its own. You can win that plus $40 of Steam credit to buy a game that's on GeForce Now, obviously. And a code for Deathloop, which is also on GeForce Now. So 3 prizes. All you have to do is sub to the channel and leave a comment on any of the videos from this week so I can see. I will take everybody who's commented, put them in the wheel tomorrow and spin that puppy 3 times to see which prizes get won. What's up, Dr. Spaceman? How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Bonjour. Bonjour, monsieur. Welcome to the show. Because you're from Quebec, I think, aren't you, originally? Which, of course, is Noir. Oh, there you go. Noix. Is it Noix? How would you pronounce that Noix in French, my friends? But Noir. What a cool name that is. Noir. That would have been so much better. Bless them. Should we just tell them to change it? That's a far nicer title, isn't it? All right, let's get on with the news. GeForce Now Source. Good friends, as always. I don't sponsor this website, though. The hosting of it, guys. That's I'm not sure what's going to happen with Stadia Source, but I'm assuming nobody goes there. So my sponsorship is running to an end. But it is GFN Thursday, and you remember we said yesterday, today's the day when they officially announce the new ports for the week and any other stuff about the platform. Yes, he is from Quebec. Beautiful, beautiful part of the world. I know you're now, I think you're on the West Coast now, is that right, mate? The X, so it's X is silent in no. So is it noi, or is it the same sound as noir? So obviously black is noir. So X is silent in, yeah. Go on, spell it phonetically for me, my friend. East Coast, gotcha. So you're on the... okay. So you're in the same sort of area as Quebec, but not in Quebec, if I understand. But yeah, love it. Love it, love it, love it. I desperately want to go over to the East Coast of Canada. I've done the West Coast. Yeah, it's pronounced like Noah. So it's Noah Noir. Oh, I love it. That's the name they should go with. If you've got a Stadia dosage shortcut like me, remember to refresh it to get the newest cloud dosage stuff. Yeah, if you go to their old news, it's all old news. But anyway, we've done the cloud dosage. I'm rattling through so we can have a look at Black Nut. So there are 6 new games in total arriving on GeForce Now this week. This is straight read from GeForce Now source. They do have their own blog, by the way, and it's pretty darn good, GeForce. But we're going to just run through because I need to give my boys some love. This includes Dakar Desert Rally. We covered it yesterday, and that takes full advantage of NVIDIA's DLSS technology, which basically boosts the quality. So if you run it at 1080 or 1440, it goes a long way to making it look like a lot higher resolution. You wouldn't want to put 4K beside it and go, yeah, it's identical, but it certainly boosts it. Looks really cool. So Marauders we covered yesterday, Dakar Desert Rally we covered yesterday, Lord of Rigel or Rigel or Regel we covered yesterday, Pre-Simulator we didn't, I'll have a look in a second, it's so funny, Barrow Trauma and Black Desert Online. Now Black Desert is actually a long-standing MMO RPG, it's huge. Oh, sorry about that. Sky News kicking in. I wasn't quite sure what the difference was. I'm assuming it's because this comes from a different place. This says the Pearl Abyss launcher. Sorry, guys, I should be zooming in. What the heck am I doing here? It's getting close. Pearl Abyss launcher versus what I think is Steam. I've claimed it for GeForce Now on Steam. Barrow Trauma, we'll have a quick look at that and Pre-Simulator, but we just want to read through quickly. Now, as it is the first GFN Thursday for the month of October, we also get a peek at some of the other titles that will be arriving on GeForce Now this month. So far, we've 19 more games confirmed, 12 of which will be brand new releases. As I said, on the GeForce Now Ambassador Discord, they've actually mentioned a lot more than 19. So yeah, there are more to come, but quickly reading through them, we've got big titles like A Plague Tale Requiem, Scorn, Lego Brick Tales, Warhammer 40,000, Shooter's Blood and Teeth, which is kind of a side-scrolling Warhammer. Asterigos, Kamawaza, Way of the Thief, Ozymandias, Bronze Age, Empire Sim, PC Building Simulator 2, The Last Oricru, Faith, The Unholy Trinity, Victoria 3, The Unliving, Commandos 3, HD Remaster, Draw Slasher, Guild Wars Game of the Year and Guild Wars Trilogy, Labyrinthine, Volcanoids, Monster Outbreak. Now, in any normal Thursday, I'm going to run through a lot of these on Steam and we'll have a look at them together. But because I've got Black Nut waiting there, simmering in the corner, I'm going to let you guys visit gfnsource.com and you can check these out on Steam. All reasonable prices, as tends to be the case with Steam. DLSS will drop the native resolution of your game and upscale it with AI. Easier on the GPU. Yeah, that's true. So it may not be any higher resolution than you've got, but it kind of takes it down from 1440 to 1080, but makes it look like 1440. I personally can see the difference, so I don't use it. But if you are, and to be honest, if you're streaming from the cloud, who cares? It's their 3080. But if you're not using the 3080, then there's options there. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, Big Steve. Had a go at Chivalry today. Great fun. I've got to tell you, I played this a while back. I can't remember whether it was a beta or what the deal was, but I can never get through the training thing. You got to slash at the posts. There's one where it says put them all together, and I can't. I don't know why. It just says too late every time. I remember I didn't get any further in the beta either. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Those games are designed for people with a kind of younger folk than me, I think. I did want to very quickly show you that Pre-Simulator, though, because it's weird. It actually says it's a mockumental action game Go forth and rock in the absolute weirdest and most messed up simulator in the history of sandbox shooters. Fully unprofessional English language version. This dub will have you in stitches. I haven't heard it, but it does look really... It's just... Think... what's the recent thing that's just dead? Saints Row. It's that kind of humour. And you're a kind of a weird priest. What can I say? It's bizarre. It's going to be a cult game. There's no question of that. I'm hoping I can get a code for this and stream it because it's just so funny. But yeah, think daft. Somebody with a massive sense of humour has had a crack at this. It's going to be fun. Yeah, Lee, are you doing a stream of it? I've seen you mention that you're going to. Everybody check out CGD Simulations, by the way. Because as well as doing simulations, he covers a lot of GeForce Now stuff, and he's such a brilliant streamer. Great guy. Demi-goddess of gaming, how are you? I hope you're keeping well. Good afternoon to you too. Bless you for joining. Thank you so much. Righty-hoey, so that was Steam. We'll do that. We'll leave it at Steam at that point. We'll quickly go back and see, because we're just approaching half past. Death Verse, Let It Die. I think I may have mentioned this.